Hey there. Welcome. Welcome to the New Year's Eve special. It's 102 weeks of being live here on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. What is going on? Why is my uh, audio delayed? I can actually see it. My audio is delayed, and like I'm speaking, and then the if really we have to end our year like this. Yeah, it could be worse, of course. But all right, I apologize if you see that my audio and my video are not syncing. I apologize. Let me know in the comments if it's tolerable, and then we can go on. I know there's a little bit of delay. I'm gonna wait a second. And if you're watching in, on the replay, let me know in hashtag replay that you're watching. And if you're watching live, come in the comments and say live, so I know someone's there. And it'll be great to see who you are, where are you, what's been happening. Hello, lovely people. Good to see you join. Welcome to the last Supercharge Fridays of 2021. Oh boy. Um, yeah, it's in the middle of winter here as well, although it really feels like weird spring weather because of the fact that the temperatures have been very warm here in Western, a lot of parts of Western Europe. Thank you, Hanish. Wonderful. Okay, thank you for letting me know it's tolerable. All right, today's a little bit different. We don't have a guest today. We are going to talk about New Year's Eve. It's the last day of the year, and it's a bunch of mixed feelings we all have. I am not particularly the most comfortable to be talking about, like, Happy New Year and what are your goals, and what have you achieved and what happened, etc., etc. So uh, nevertheless, it happens to be on a Friday, it happens to be on a Supercharged Fridays. Let's make the most of it. So what I wanted to do was uh, just sort of share some thoughts with you and actually hear from you as well, and let me know your thoughts on it as well. And everyone who's joining here, thank you, everybody. Wish you a lovely New Year's Eve and a new year, because this is the last one for the year. So I wanted to share a few thoughts that I have collected from here and there for today, um, and just some thinking. Right? Like I said, I'm not particularly fond of things like goals, etc. They make me nervous, particularly when I don't achieve them. So I prefer not to talk about them. But nevertheless, it's like, okay, you know what? Let's face what's going on here. Let's face some of the discomfort. Because, at the end of the day, and I'm going to say this again at the very end, 2022 is going to be exactly like 2021 if we don't do uncomfortable things, right? There's nothing wrong with 2 years being identical if that's what you want. I'm not sure if that's what you want, because if that's what you wanted, I'm not sure you'd be joining us live today, right? I'm talking to you, looking at you. So let's talk about some of those things, and one of the things that I see happening a lot, and I saw this particularly last year on social media. They're like, I can't wait for 2020 to be over. It's like magically 2021 is going to be different. It doesn't work that way, right? And I did a whole live stream on goal setting on the 1st of Jan 2021. So it's almost a year. I think precisely to the day. Um, I felt a little bit of a fraud because not very easy to work on goals like that. I'm one of those people who's a very um, good, like, queen. I'm a queen. Yes, I'm a queen at procrastination. So procrastination and goal setting don't necessarily, go together. So thank you guys for joining. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know what you're thinking about the topic of goals, etc. But before we go into goals, because there's always forward thinking and there's looking back, right? And a lot of people say that we should look back only to see how far we've come. Never look back. Only look ahead, because you're going ahead and your neck cannot go back. Your neck, like, physically cannot turn backwards. While I get that, I also think that every year is an opportunity, like it's presenting itself like a teacher. And whether we use it or not is up to us. And if we don't, I feel like that year has been wasted. And I have wasted a few years. You always know that I'm honest here. So hopefully, I'm also attracting people who are honest and who are not necessarily wanting to show only the good side, the highlight reel, etc. So, first, let's talk about the year that's been for you, right? 2021. In a couple of hours, wherever you are, and my friends in New Zealand, it's already 2022, right? If you're in the US, it's morning. If you're in Asia, Europe, afternoon, evening. So, in a couple of hours, we're going to say bye to the year that was. So, it's a bit overwhelming, right? It's a bit overwhelming to think about the year and how do I reflect, how do I journal in it, etc. I've got a few prompts that I picked up on social media here and there for us to think about, for you to think about, for me to think about. Not sure if this is going to be helpful to you, but it's helpful to me. So I'm doing this for me. And if you want to come along and you're finding it useful, I'm very happy. Um, then I'm a happy camper. This is one way to do it. Maybe write down three things in your little diary at the end of the live stream today and talk to yourself as if you're a different person. Like, like out of body experience. Hey, you know, like looking at whoever's live here right now. Hey, Iris, lovely. Thank you for being here. So, for example, you know, Prakash or Ira, hey, I'm proud of you for remember you've survived 2021. Not many people have. And particularly my peeps in India, you know how hard it's been. We all know someone who suffered in the really dark months of April and May because of COVID, or other situations where life was difficult. You've made it. So, what are you proud of? I'm proud of you. Speak as if you're speaking to a friend, but you're speaking about yourself. I'm proud of you for. I forgive you for. I promise you that. Now, that is more future setting. But I saw this exercise done with someone, and the I forgive you for is an emotional one. Don't be afraid of those emotions. Don't be afraid to get into it, into the thick of it. And yeah, I hope you're thinking. I hope those brain cells are ticking, and I hope you're thinking about what you're gonna write. There are different things to do. This is one prompt. This is one of the many prompts I'm going to share with you. So, not too many. I don't want to take up a lot of your time. It's New Year's Eve. And before we get into the goal setting, another thing I want you to think about is people in your life, people in your life, and your relationship with them. Another good prompt is, who are your favorite people in your life this year? What did you learn about them? And what did you learn about your relationship with them? Anyone that you feel has made an impact on you, right? In your life, people you know personally. Who are these people? I think this is a very good thought because it also gives us a chance to be like, thanking them. Cheers. I got my chai. All the best to 2022. And I want to say bye bye to 2021. So I'm going to take my first sip and say cheers with my lovely peeps here. Is this interesting? Is this helpful? Tell me in the comments. Tell me, give me some likes and hearts. You know, I'm a dopamine dealer. So, oh my goodness, you're absolutely right. Hey, Rich, lovely to have you here. Good morning. Nothing to forgive. New Year resolutions, not a fan, Vivek. You know what? This is the best time. This is the best time. The highest sales are for gym memberships and for weight loss programs. This is the best time of the year. In the months of December and January, they sell out like crazy. I read somewhere they make more business in December and January than they do the rest of the year. Why? We all want to do things. And guess what? By February, I'm making up data, but I don't think I'm too wrong. 70 to 80% have fallen off the wagon. So I don't want to do that anymore. I've done it for years, miserably failed at it, and lots of other things that we can think about for New Year's resolution. And I see a fantastic comment here from Risto. And yeah, about goal setting. Okay, that's wonderful, Risto, because I know she's doing one as well again in the new year. I look forward to that one. She's a fantastic guest on Superchat Fridays who was on a few weeks ago. So, who were your favorite people? Think about this one. Another one you can think about is in terms of the year that has been, what do you know now that you didn't know before? Like, no, like, really, no. I'll give you an example. I always thought that, yeah, life is precious, things can change. I really learned through some challenges this year that life can stop like that. And I'm speaking personally. Do not take time for granted. Do not take life for granted. I've taken time a lot for granted. I've been very slow to implement certain things I wanted to. In hindsight, maybe it was meant to be, sure. But I also think that I haven't really implemented what some of my beliefs are. Because getting into that zone and actually believing every little thing that you read for yourself is a different level of learning. I don't know if that makes any sense. Do you know what I mean? Let me know what you think about that. And oh yeah, 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 Ira. I got COVID before a very important masterclass in December, like literally hours before. I was isolating, and yeah, spent my birthday isolating. But I was so grateful. You know, the vaccine ensured that I was very mild. Not everybody was this lucky, right? Not everybody was this lucky. So many, um, so many things to be grateful for. I have some lovely people here. Hey, thank you so much. Thank you. I'm glad you're here. Anil, gym memberships will be affected, but I'm not just talking gym memberships. I'm talking weight loss programs. A lot of them are digital. Do you know what I mean? So, fantastic. Iris, what did you learn? Acceptance and disappointment. Accomplished a lot. Pushed myself hard. Uh, you know, we don't think about that a lot. We only think about what didn't go well. It's something called negativity bias. It's very normal to be only impacted more by negativity bias and influenced by that. Do not do not be dissuaded by that, right? Ensure that you understand the full picture. uh all right, thank you for sharing. Lovely. So one more prompt I'd like you to think about before we go into goals, and I'm going to see that comment. uh Another good prompt I saw is, what are you going to stop, what are you going to start, what are you going to continue? I like this. It's a very positive approach. It's very common. I've seen this a lot, and I'm sure you've seen it as well. Maybe you think about applying this, just penning some thoughts down on paper. What are you going to stop? For me, procrastination. For me, taking things for granted, like health. What am I going to start? More strategic thinking, more planning, more structure, because I've been all over the place and I've been very reactive when it comes to running my little business, as opposed to being proactive. Changing that this year. What I'm going to continue with is consistency. So share with me. I'm bearing myself out here with you. So let me know what you're thinking about that. What are you going to stop? What are you going to start? What are you going to continue? Ajit, such a good question. What do you recommend in terms of evaluating our goals? You know, it's very personal, Ajit. I don't really know. I know that I like to be agile. And people say, so many people say, look at 10-year goals, 5-year goals. I can't. I don't know what I'm having for lunch tomorrow. Forget 5 years. So um, I think I want my brain to focus on 90-day segments. There will be 4 times a year. So one quarter, 90 days, 90 days, 90 days. And then adjust wherever required. I'll give you an example. I didn't have YouTube. If you're watching me on YouTube, come in the comments and say hi. I'm very fond of my YouTube viewers. YouTube was never really part of my game plan because I just thought it's one of those places that tends to, ignore, and people go to YouTube for entertainment. We have beliefs, right? And then suddenly one video blew up, and I was like, okay, there's something here. I need to do something about this. And I started feeding it more, and I started having more goals. I haven't accomplished them yet, but I'll get there. The point is, if I had a fixed goal, I would not have adjusted. So I would say adjust as required. I wouldn't say adjust every quarter because you have to adjust. I'm not that person. I'm a bit more sort of going with the flow. Now, going with the flow can have a good side and a bad side, and I've experienced both. Good side meaning when things change, I can adjust very quickly. Bad thing meaning not being proactive, not looking at things in advance, not looking at what are the next opportunities, right? And so be careful with going with the flow. It's a little bit um, tricky, right? Um, what else? Enjoy myself. Iris, that sounds like a plan. That sounds like a plan. What does that mean, enjoy myself? So I think the micro goals are um, those little ways of how I'm going to do that. Those are very powerful. And there, the details matter a lot. They matter a lot. I'll share another personal thing with you. I had a little goal that there is this editor on LinkedIn for job search and careers. His name is Andrew Seaman. I've been following him for years. And I had a little goal that I'm going to be featured on his LinkedIn live, on his, get hired live. I don't know, maybe some of you saw it. It's a big deal for me, right? It's a big deal for me. I see most of the guests tend to be from either United States or Canada. I'm here sitting in Europe. I'm Indian. I'm like, I don't know. I want to be featured by him. So what did that mean? Just consistently showing up, consistently showing up. And one day he reached out, and it was the best feeling ever. So the micro goal was just show up till you blow up. It really, really makes a difference. So that micro thing helps. What does that look like for you? And writing it down is so freaking powerful. Whatever that looks like, whatever that looks like. For some people, it's $1 million. For some people, it's 1 million subscribers. For some people, it's an Oscar. I was like, Andrew Seaman. So nobody's gonna make fun. Just believe in it and make it happen. Uh, hey, Saurabh, my goal is not to focus too much on end results. Oh my gosh, Saurabh, you are speaking my language. Okay, that's beautiful. Exercise, weight loss. Instead of thinking I'm going to lose 15 kilos, I'm going to focus on 45 minutes. Yeah, there's a beautiful book called Atomic Habits by James Clear, and he talks about systems and habits. And one of the ways of making it happen is through the process. So this is a great way for me. One thing that's really helped me, and I have still a journey to go, is intermittent fasting. I've started it in September, and I'm very happy with it, and I want to do this more. And 3 times a week exercise as well. So I love this. It's very practical, and we have similar weight loss goals as well. So go, Saurabh. Wish you huge success with this one. Hey, Risto. So we're gonna get into goals, etc. Okay. So I'll do a little recap. I'll do it later. For anyone who's joining us late, I'll do a recap. I promise. Okay. I'm loving the comments here. I'm loving that people are watching. It's New Year's Eve. You guys are hanging out. It means a lot. Another notion about goal setting, one reason why resolutions fail is related to the emotional state these resolutions are made in. Zeal and promise, but no real planning, commitment, or follow up strategies, which is why I think, Saurabh, your comment really makes a lot of sense here. So I think when goals come from a place of fear and negativity, they don't really motivate. But instead, when it's like, I'm going to do 45 minutes no matter what, that feels achievable. That feels good. Right? Next, that makes sense. Hey, Sajid. Hey, thank you. Yes. I'm not sure 3. I started in Jan 2020. So, yeah. 2. It feels like 3. What do you stop? What will you start? What will you continue? Stop overthinking, start implementing, continue believing in myself. Ira, I love it. I love it. How about looking at goals from different attitudes? My friend Risto says some goals are just for this week, some goals are for 5 to 10 years, helicopter view. No, that's great. I struggle with the helicopter view, 5 to 10 years. I really struggle with it. But I do want to have more control Remember, we said 90 days. In my case, I like it. And the 90 days breaking it down week by week. I've been really a bad girl about that. I want to start that, and I'm working on it. And I've hired a coach as well to help me out with it. So whenever required, don't feel shy to invest in yourself, because not all of us are naturally motivated from within, right? Not all of us see blind spots, which is why getting the eyes and ears of an external specialist is very helpful. Fabulous. Um, Journaling is fantastic. I'm going to do a better job with my journaling as well. Hey, Anil. Spoken English. No, I don't know spoken English in Delhi. I don't know institutes. It doesn't matter. Anil, I would say start with whatever you have. You don't necessarily have to go out there and buy the most expensive program out there. I'll tell you how I learned Spanish and French. And that was through two things: classes. Yes, I'm negating myself, institute. But when I was doing Spanish and French, internet was not so prevalent, right? You have a lot of apps which are inexpensive, which can help with learning, either one on one or group. I'm a big fan of group learning because listening to other people speak sharpens your listening skills. And the second is movies with subtitles in English. So, like an English movie with English subtitles, a Hindi, I'm guessing you speak Hindi, a Hindi movie with English subtitles, any movie but with subtitles. That subconsciously helped my Spanish to go from here to here. Like insane. I was fluent in 1 year. This is, remember, a language that I haven't grown up speaking. So if I can do it, I'm not that bright. Yeah. If I can do it, you can do it as well. Hey, Vivek. You're asking a lot of questions. I'd like you to share as well. My regret. I'm going to be sharing regrets. I'm going to, in fact, come there. So feel free to join me. Okay. So now let's talk about goals, whatever that looks like for you. I already hinted at 90 days. I'm, I've been a pretty big proponent of it, but I haven't really followed through. So here I am declaring publicly that I'm going to follow through on 90 days and be better at it and have systems in place. There's a lot of talk I did on goal setting last year, like I said, on 1st of Jan 2021. If you want to go check out my YouTube channel and go back and find that live stream, it was on 1st of Jan. So easier to find it on YouTube than it is on LinkedIn, on Facebook. And a lot of interesting things. I found them very inspirational. You know, when you're like attending a talk or you're listening to someone and you're very inspired in that moment. So I was like, I'm doing this for myself. I'm doing this for myself. Something happened. Life happened. Yes. Yeah. Excuses. And I didn't necessarily follow through. So hopefully this year, there is no hopefully. I hate that word. This year will be different. I'm going to follow through. So then another thing that is an interesting one is you want to have a combination of big, hairy, audacious goals. Not too many. You don't want to overwhelm yourself, but the bhag goals, big, hairy, audacious. So one bhag, one achievable, like, it's a sure shot, and one medium between bhag. And that's what I've read. And I think that is just the right amount to keep you challenged. One more method that I want to share that I read somewhere yesterday. In fact, a friend of mine posted on LinkedIn. Her name is Virginia Franco. She was on my live stream in Jan. We talked about resumes. And she talks about the champagne method. So basically, it's like, okay, imagine it's 31st December 2022. You're at an event, you're celebrating. What are you doing? Who is with you? Where are you? What are you eating? What does the champagne glass look like? What does the champagne smell like? What brand is it? How are you feeling? And she's like, okay, from that visualization, calculate 3 things you can do in January. Okay. From those 3 things, what is one thing you can do today? Not 1st Jan, not 2nd Jan, not day after, today. And then keep going little by little. She's been doing this for years. I'm going to be interviewing her for my podcast because I want to learn about this a lot more. And I think that's really powerful. different things work for different people. So it's not necessary that there's one system for everyone. So when people are like, follow my goal setting methodology, it may or may not work for you. You gotta fit, it's like shoe shopping. You gotta try on a few things before it clicks. Do you know what I mean? That makes sense? Yeah, I love Robin Sharma's book, The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. I was a bit skeptical at first, but I actually enjoyed it. So, very powerful questions here that Ristos shared. Did I live wisely? Did I love well? Did I serve greatly? How nice. How nice. That's wonderful. Hey, Shipra, feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. Send me a personalized connection request. Do not send a blank one, and I'll be happy to connect with you. All right. So we talked about goals a little bit. Now, I think there was a question here from Vivek. Regrets. These are top 5 regrets that people have when they're coming close to the end. I know it's a bit morbid, it's a bit morose, but we want to also know what we don't want. These are the top 5 regrets that I've read online, I think from a book or something. I wish I'd stayed in touch with friends. I wish I'd been more true to myself and not please others. I wish I hadn't worked so much. I wish I'd expressed myself more. I wish I'd let myself be happier. Look, there's a typo in myself. My old me would have been itching to change it. This is progress, guys. These are big regrets. One of my regrets is let myself be happier. So there's time to change it. There's time to change it. Right. And I see that I don't remember who asked me. I think there was a question here. Ajit, was it you? The question was about how often do you adjust them? I read this somewhere yesterday and it really resonated with me. Write your purpose in pen and your path in pencil. Isn't that beautiful? You can adjust the path. Purpose, you pretty much stay true to it. Doesn't go from night to day, right? All right. So we're coming close to the end. I want to summarize everything we've talked about. If I've missed any comments, feel free to share in here. So I have checked, I haven't missed it. All right. Quick recap. A few things to think about, like writing in your journal today before you welcome 2022. If you're watching the replay, it's never too late. One of the best things is never too late. There's a lot of pressure on 1st of Jan. I think the first of a month is a great clean slate. First of the year is even more clean. So what? It's still clean. First of the month. And let's say you don't work, it doesn't happen. First of Feb is a good place to start, right? Another one, a Monday, whenever your week starts, right? If you're in the Middle East, it's Sunday. But a Monday is like a mini New Year. It's like a mini New Year. So there's a lot of pressure on it has to be 1st of Jan. It can start anytime, and it can even start when you wake up in the morning. It's a new start. You've been given an opportunity. But anyway, some things to think about at the end of the year. I'm proud of you. Right now, what are you proud of? I forgive you for, and I promise you that. And think about who were some of the favorite people in your life? What did you learn about them? How did it affect your relationship with them? What are some things you know now that you didn't know before? What will you start? What will you stop? What will you continue? Lots of little prompts I'm giving you so you can journal on that. Just write, peace and quiet, nobody's around you, pen and paper. Not phone, pen and paper. And then we talked about goals today. You want a combination of big, hairy, audacious goals, unachievable goals, and medium, somewhere in the middle. Here is a solemn promise that I'm going to work on 90 days with intention. This thing that I've lacked over the years is intention. So this is my promise. What does it look like for you? Feel free, if you feel comfortable, feel free to share that. We talked about the champagne method of what it's going to be like in 2022, December 31st. So exactly 1 year from now. And if you're just joining live, feel free to catch the replay. You'll find everything that we talked about. We talked about regrets. We talked about writing your purpose in pen and the path in pencil. We also said 2022 is going to look exactly like 2021. unless we decide to step out of our comfort zone. And finally, I want to leave you with a thought from Anne Frank, who we know did not live past 15, 14, 15, I think. What a wonderful thought it is that some of the best days of our lives haven't even happened yet. So, with that, I want to say a big thank you. Wish you a lovely, lovely New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, New Year, and may 2022 be exactly what you need. Thank you so much for supporting, for being here, and I shall catch you next week at the same time. I'm going to have a lovely resume writer from India. Her name is Varsha, and we are going to talk about how to work on your resume when you're making a big career change. She specializes in, military to corporate, but it's going to be a lot of lessons in there that'll be relevant for many of us. So I hope to catch you on that one on the 7th of Jan. Till then, take care of yourselves. Bye for now.